thank you all for joining. And I think all of you have joined these sessions before. So thank you for your continued participation. Many of you were doing these sessions every day for the first 15 days of Sagadawa. But even after that is finished, we're going to be continuing these Sunday sessions for the foreseeable future. So yeah, thank you for your continued participation. So let's just jump right into it and quickly adjust our motivation, thinking that the purpose of my life is to benefit all the sentient beings, and in particular, that I may be able to do that in the best way, I must first achieve the state of enlightenment. Then will I have the qualities and skills to benefit sentient beings in the best way possible. And therefore, to accumulate all the causes for enlightenment and to purify my mind of all the obstacles, then I'm going to engage in this group Tara practice here today. And then especially, we can also think that we're also doing this practice for all of the various problems and obstacles facing the world, including all the problems due to coronavirus and other diseases, the obstacles due to environmental problems, war, economic problems, and so forth. So we're also doing this Tara practice here for all of those obstacles to be quelled and pacified, and for all the sentient beings in this world and in all the worlds to always have the most conducive conditions for their temporary as well as ultimate happiness. So for all those reasons, we are going to do this Tara practice here today. Okay. All right, so I will do the share screen. Okay, can you still see me and the screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So now we visualize all the sentient beings in the space around us. And we think that we're leading them in this practice. So now visualize that above the crown of my head, I visualize a lotus and moon disk. Upon these is the great treasure of compassion, Arya Tara, mother of all enlightened beings, who is oneness with my kind root guru. My guru is seated in the full lotus position within a transparent bubble of rainbow-colored light, is pink in complexion, and wears saffron robes and a pandit's hat. His right hand is at his heart in the gesture of teaching the Dharma, and holds a vajra and the stem of a white lotus that blooms beside his right ear. His left hand rests on his hip. It holds a bell and the stem of another white lotus that blooms beside his left ear. And my heart is, and my guru's heart is Arya Tara in female aspect, green in color and seated in dancing posture within a rainbow bubble. Her left leg is bent up and her right leg is outstretched. Her left hand is at her heart in the mudra symbolizing the triple gem and holding the stem of a blue Upali flower. Her right hand extended over her right knee is in the mudra of granting sublime realizations. She is beautifully adorned with jeweled ornaments and scarves at her 3 places, bears the symbol Om An Hum. At her heart is a lotus and moon seat on which stands a radiant green syllable tam. Rays of green light radiate in all directions from the tam and invoke all the enlightened beings of the 10 directions. They are all absorbed into Arya Tara and become one. So we pause here and just visualize that as clearly as we can. And even more importantly, to reflect on the significance of this visualization. So we visualize our guru and at his heart is Aryatara. And then all the Buddhas of the 10 directions then get absorbed into Aryatara. So here we recall that actually our Guru is inseparable from Aryatara, who in turn is inseparable from all of the other Buddhas. So the significance is that our Guru has all the qualities of all of the Buddhas, yet is appearing in this form that we can see, we can interact with. So in that sense, although our Guru shares all the qualities of all the enlightened beings, then by manifesting in this aspect that we can see is actually infinitely more kind to us. So remembering those qualities and the kindness, then we make this heartfelt prayer. Please remain above my head until I receive enlightenment. Okay, so now the refuge in bodhicitta. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, Dharma, and Supreme Assembly. By my merit from giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merit from giving and the other perfections, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge until I am enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merit from giving and the other perfections, may I become a Buddha in order to benefit all sentient beings. So now the silent prayer. With my body, speech, and mind, I devoutly prostrate. Devoutly prostrate. So now we continue with the 21 Tower praises. Okay. Dalai ne chone tamye jangule chushin dame giula gen yusun sange chile ma joma koje sheksu so la 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 me chebengi shage bemo la tute pompa kune josema joma yula chaselo Ojetsu pama joma la chaselo Chacha joma yama pama chene keke lo la drama Chidin zuzu chike shelgi Kesa jawa lini joma Chase tunke dawa kuntu Kawa gyani sepe shama Kama tonta toba namgi Ratu chewe yarabama Chase sema jene keke Peme Janina Bhagama Chimba Sudu Kadishiva Suba Senten Junima Chasa Deshin Segre Sudo Taina Bhagava Jama Maru Paru Chimba Tobe Gere Segi Shinde Dama Chasa Tutara Huyiki Dedan Choda Makakama Chidin Dubo Shagi Nende Lupa Meba Gupanuma Chache geche nela kampa, luna nanto wanchu chema, chumboro lanti zananda, nuche zage dene tema, chache cheche chadan peki, paru tukora tujoma, yegen shagi nente, mepa tupa shindu bama, chache turi jepa chembo, dugi pao namba joma, chuge shenu jone denze, Kao tamshe malu sema, chase konsho sunsa chage, soma chokana bagema, malu choge kolu gembe, rangi yuge soknam trukma, chase ratu gawa jibe, yuge chawa dama, shepara shetu tarayi, juda jide wandu zema, chase sashi kyonwe sokna, taje gubanu manema, Chone yoa ige ungi, Kompa Tanchen Namba Joma, Chase, Dawe Dumbuge, Kemba Tanche Shindu Dama, Rebe Trepa Reba Mele, Takpa Shindu Erazema, Chase Kepe Tameneda, Pawe Teme Yananema, Yekun Yukun Kone Korge, Trai Pune Namba Joma, Chase Sashi Nyala Chagi, Tigi Anugi Shage Doma, Trone Chenzi Yigi Hungi, Remba Doma Nanigama, Chase Dhamma Gama Shima, Nainde Chinima, Soa Noyanda Dempe, Tiba Chamba Jamanima, Chase Kune Kora Gawe, Chai Luni Nabagama, Yigi Chibe Ngaki Kebe, Reba Hune Jamanima, Chase Ture Shani Tabe, Hunge Nabe Sabinima, Rira Mandara Dandije, Jidin Soya Yoanima, Chasa Lai Soya Nabe, Rira Taje Chana Nama, Tara Nije Peki Yeke, Tuna Manu Bani Zama, Chasa Lai Sonam Gyabo, Lada Mea Chietama, Kone Gocha Kawajiki, Sada Mina Nyamba Sama, Chasa Nima Dawa Gebe, Chene Pola Ura Sama, Hara Niju Tukarai, Shindu Tapo Dine Sama, Chasa Dini Suna Kebe, Shive Dumayanda Dama, Dada Vola Nichin Sona, Chomba Turera Chonima, Sawenga Ita Badida, Chasa Wani Nishu Sachi. Okay, we'll continue with the abbreviated praise. So again, do 21 times. Onje tsuma pama jamala cha sa lo cha sa jama tare pamo tutarai jikun sama tune dana danje dama soa yiki cherara du onje tsuma pama jamala cha sa lo cha sa jama tare pamo tutarai jikun sama tune dana danje dama soa yiki cherara du Onje tsuma pama jamala cha sa lo cha sa jama tare pamo tutarai jikun sama tune dana daje dama soa ike charara du onje tsuma pama jamala cha sa lo cha sa jama tare pamo tutarai jikun sama tune dana daje dama soa ike charara du onje tsuma pama jamala cha sa lo Chasa Joma Tare Bamo, Tudara Ijiza, Ma Ture Dana Dajeda, Ma Soa Ikijara, Onje Zuma, Pama Jamala Chasa Lo, Chasa Joma Tare Bamo, Tudara Ijiza, Ma Ture Dana Dajeda, Ma Soa Ikijara, Onje Zuma, Pama Jamala Chasa Lo, Chasa Joma Tare Bamo, Tudara Ijiza, Ma Ture Dana Dajeda, Ma Soa Ikijara, Onje Zuma, Pama Jamala Chasa Lo, Chasa Joma Tare Bamo, Tudara Ijiza, Ma Ture Dana Dajeda, Ma Soa Ikijara, Onje Zuma, Pama Jamala Chasa Lo, Chasa Joma Tare Bamo, Tudara Ijiza, Ma Ture Dana Dajeda, Ma Soa Ikijara, Onje Zuma, Pama Jamala Chasa Lo, Chasa Joma Tare Bamo, Tudara Ijiza, Ma Ture Dana Dajeda, Ma Soa Ikijara, Onje Zuma, Pama Jamala Chasa Lo, Chasa Joma Tare Bamo, Tudara Ijiza, Ma Ture Dana Dajeda, Ma Soa Ikijara, Onje Zuma, Pama Jamala Chasa Lo, Chasa Joma Tare Bamo, Tudara Ijiza, Ma Ture Dana Dajeda, Ma Soa Ikijara, Onje Zuma, Pama Jamala Chasa Lo, Chasa Joma Tare Bamo, Tudara Ijiza, Ma Ture Dana Dajeda, Ma Soa Ikijara, Onje Zuma, Pama Jamala Chasa Lo, Chasa Joma Tare Bamo, Tudara Ijiza, Ma Ture Dana Dajeda, Ma Soa Ikijara, onje tsuma pama jamala cha sa lo cha cha jama dare pa mo tu tara jigun za ma tune dana da jida ma so a yigi charara de onje tsuma pama jamala cha sa lo cha cha jama dare pa mo tu tara jigun za ma tune dana da jida ma so a yigi charara de onje tsuma pama jamala cha sa lo chacha jama tare ba mo tu tara jigun za ma tune dana da jida ma so a yigi charara de onje tsuma pama jamala cha sa lo chacha jama tare ba mo tu tara jigun za ma tune dana da jida ma so a yigi charara de onje tsuma pama jamala cha sa lo chacha jama tare ba mo tu tara jigun za ma tune dana da jida ma so a yigi charara de onje tsuma pama jamala cha sa lo chacha jama tare ba mo tu tara jigun za ma tune dana da jida ma so a yigi charara de onje tsuma pama jamala cha sa lo chacha jama tare ba mo tu tara jigun za ma tune dana da jida ma so a yigi charara de onje tsuma pama jamala cha sa lo chacha jama tare pa mo tu tarai jigun sa ma tune dana da jida ma so a yigi charara de. Okay, so you might have noticed I highlighted a few of the parts here in the Tara praises. So I actually found some mistakes in the phonetics. I had a doubt, so I rechecked it with the Tibetan. And so I will share that with the FPMT Education Department very soon. Okay, so next is the limb of offering. And so, okay, hold on, I have to get the incense burner. Oops. Okay. So again, we will offer this really nice agar wood incense. Om Ahom, Om Ahom, Om Ahom. And so we think we're offering all these offerings on behalf of all sending beings. So I offer all offerings, both real and imagined. So then remembering all the offerings we've set out here at the various students' homes, Rinpoche's houses as well, all the various centers around the world, and then everything we can imagine, filling the entire universe. We make offerings of all of this to the numberless Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, statues, stupas, and scriptures, all who are inseparable from our own root guru. And we make these offerings many times, and the guru generates great bliss upon receiving these offerings. Then confession. All sins and offenses amassed from beginningless time I confess. So try to generate the mind of regret, seeing our previously accumulated faults as faults, seeing that these negative actions that we've accumulated in the past will lead to suffering in the future. not wanting to, having to experience that. And also seeing how these negativities that we've done in the past, they then leave imprints on our continuum that then serve as obstacles for us to achieve realizations on the path to enlightenment. So seeing these various drawbacks of the negative actions we've done, then we make a firm resolution not to engage in such behavior in the future. And at the very least, even for a day, even for an hour, even for a few seconds, we must refrain from these negativities. Next, the limb of rejoicing. So I rejoice in all virtuous actions of holy and ordinary beings. So here again, rejoicing in your own merits. Think how wonderful it is that you accumulated the merits needed to achieve such a precious human rebirth as we all have. To meet with the Buddha Dharma, and especially to meet with His Holiness Dalai Lama and Lamas of Rinpoche, our kind gurus. We must have accumulated such virtue in the past to have such a fortunate circumstance in the present. And then just extending that out to all the other ordinary beings. And then to think of the Arya beings, those who have entered the path and realized emptiness, be they on the Shavaka path, the Pratyeka Buddha path, the Mahayana path. So many qualities, so much virtue, and so much benefit they can enact for others' welfare. And then especially think of rejoicing, especially in the bodhisattvas, Arya bodhisattvas, and also the Buddhas, completed the collections of merit and transcendental wisdom, and therefore can spontaneously manifest in whatever form is fitting and suitable for sentient beings. Amazing. Okay. So next, requesting that the Buddhas remain. All Gurus and Buddhas, please remain until samsara ends. Visualize offering a double-crossed Vajra on the throne, that then absorbs into our Gurus. And turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. Here we offer not just one, but countless golden Dhamma chakras, which also get absorbed into the Guru, who accepts our request to teach. All my virtues and those of all others I dedicate to the great enlightenment. And now the mandala offering. This ground anointed with perfume, strewn with flowers, adorned mountain near 4 continents, sun and moon. I imagine this is a Buddha field and offer it. Now living beings enjoy this pure land. The object of my attachment, aversion, and ignorance, friends, enemies, and strangers, and my body, wealth, and enjoyments without any sense of loss are for this collection. Please accept with pleasure. Bless me with freedom from 3 poisons. Idam Guru Rana Mandala Kam Yalatayami. Okay, so now the purification meditation. So we request our Guru, please bless me to purify all obscurations of my body so that it will become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra body. So think the Guru accepts our request, and then white light emanates from the Om at Arya Tara's brow and curves in an arc to enter my brow. My body is purified completely of all obscurations and becomes one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra body. So most important at every step in this visualization, then think that all those specific negativities of body, speech, or mind then have been completely purified. Next, please bless me to purify all obscurations of my speech so that it will become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra speech. I think the Guru accepts our request, and by the power of that, red light emanates from the Ah at Arya Tara's throat and curves in an arc to enter my throat. My speech is purified completely of all obscurations and becomes one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra speech. Next, please bless me to purify all obscurations of my mind so that it will become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra mind. The Guru accepts our request. Then blue light emanates from the home at Arya Tara's heart and curves in an arc to enter my heart. My mind is purified of all obscurations and becomes one in essence with Guru Tara's holy Vajra mind. Next, we request, please bless me to purify all delusions and self-obscurations to omniscience, so that my body, speech, and mind will become one with Guru Tara's holy body, speech, and mind. So the Guru accepts our request, and now we visualize that three colored beams emanate simultaneously from the Om and Hum syllables, curving in an arc and entering my three places, completely purifying all my delusions and subtle obscurations to omniscience. My body, speech, and mind become one in essence with Guru Tara's holy body, speech, and mind. Then think that my Guru dissolves into Arya Tara, who melts into green light, which flows into me. Instantly, my wrong conception that I and all other phenomena are self-existent, together with my dualistic mind and its views, disappear, becoming completely empty. Not even a trace of them remains. So then we concentrate one pointedly in this empty state with a wisdom that is indistinguishably one with Guru Tara's blissful omniscient mind. Okay, so now if you've been following, then you know this is the time when we meditate on emptiness. So first, to the best of your ability, recall the meaning of emptiness. And then one way to do that, they say to purify the impure appearances into emptiness. So think that everything, that appears to our deluded, ignorant minds, then everything that appears as being truly existent. It appears as if these objects exist from their own side, exist independently, independent from our minds, independent from their parts, independent from causes and conditions. However, no such phenomena exists like that. That way of existing is completely impossible. And therefore, all those appearances are false. All those appearances do not accord with reality. So you can think that all those, objects that appear to your ignorant mind, since they appear as being truly existent, those truly apparent, objects don't exist at all whatsoever. Then this mind of yours that realizes the ultimate nature of phenomena is inseparable with Guru Aryatara's omniscient mind that also realizes emptiness. So now, if you have had the requisite initiation, then this mind that realizes emptiness then manifests as Aryatara. If you don't have the necessary initiation, you can visualize that out of this sphere of emptiness, then Aryatara arises in the space in front. And Aryatara's holy body is seated upon a lotus and moon cushion at my heart, if you're visualizing yourself as a deity, is another lotus and moon, upon which in the center stands a syllable tom surrounded by, in a clockwise direction, by the syllables of the mantra, Om Taritu Taritu Soa. The tom and the mantra are manifestations of Guru Tara's holy mind, with which my mind is totally united. Green light radiates from all the letters, spreading in every direction. It purifies the negative karma, gross delusions, subtle obscurations to omniscience of all sinner beings who become Tara. So bearing that visualization in mind, keeping that, yeah, then we recite the mantra. And then, yeah, we can meditate for about 6 minutes. And then, yeah, maybe after a couple malas, you can cycle through and do the other visualizations as well. Okay. And they'll be there on the page. Om Tari Tari Ture Soha, Om Tari Tari Ture Soha. 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 Om Tare Tare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tare Ture Soha. Tare Tare. Om Tare Tare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tare Ture Soha. So now we just take a moment and rest in that awareness that exactly according to the visualization, in accordance with that, then all the sentient beings have been purified of all their sickness, all their negative karma, as well as their obscurations, both liberation and enlightenment. And all of the qualities of Buddhatara's holy body, holy speech, and holy mind have been absorbed into us. And we now have received all of the enlightened qualities of Aryatara. Okay. So, dedication. May I quickly become Guru Aryatara and lead each and every sentient being into her enlightened state because of these merits. May the supreme jewel bodhicitta that has not yet arisen arise and grow, and may that which has arisen not diminish but increase more and more. So we will continue with this, the Tangtong Gyalpo prayer. I think many of you know. We do this also on every Saturday. There's the prayer-a-thon put on by Chenrezig Institute in Australia. But for 24 hours, they do this practice over and over again. So you can tune into that as well. Anyway, we'll just read this once. So also think, is this like a dedication prayer? So due to the merits that we've accumulated, as well as the 3-time merit accumulated, remember the sentient beings and remember the Buddhas. Okay, so due to all that merit. Now the diseases that sadden the minds of sentient beings that result from karma and temporary conditions, such as the harms of gross spirits, illnesses, and the bhutas, not occur in the realms of the world. May whatever sufferings are from life-threatening diseases that, like a butcher leading animals to be slaughtered, separate the body from the mind in a mere instant, not occur in the realms of the world. May all embodied beings be unharmed by acute, chronic, and other epidemic diseases, the mere sounds of whose name terrify beings, as though they had been placed inside the mouth of Yama, the Lord of Death. May all embodied beings be unharmed by the 80,000 classes of interferers, the 360 evil spirits that harm suddenly, the 424 diseases, and so forth. May whatever sufferings are due to disturbances of the 4 elements, depriving the body and mind of every happiness, be totally pacified. And may the body and mind have radiance and power, and be endowed with long life, good health, and well-being. For the compassion of the Gurus and the 3 jewels, by the power of the Dakinis, non-protectors and guardians, and by the power of the truth of the infallibility of karma and its results, May all these dedications and prayers be fulfilled. Okay, so we can continue with the King of Prayers. So do you all have that? Yes? Do I need to screen share? Okay. Well, so let me stop the share. And now I have to open it up myself. One second. Okay. I bow down to youthful Arya Manjushri, you lions among humans, gone to freedom in the past, present, and future. In the worlds of 10 directions, to all of you with body, speech, and sincere mind, I bow down. With the energy of aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, and with a sense of deep respect, and with many bodies as atoms of the world, to all you Buddhas visualized as real, I bow down. On every atom are Buddhas, numberless as atoms, each of them is a host of Bodhisattvas, and I am confident the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with Buddhas in this way, with the infinite oceans of praise for you, and oceans of sound from the aspects of my voice. I sing the breathtaking excellence of the Buddhas and celebrate all you go into bliss. Beautiful flowers and regal garlands, sweet music, scented oils and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense, I offer to you, victorious ones. Fine dress and fragrant perfume, sandalwood powder heaped high as Mount Meru, all wondrous offerings in spectacular array, I offer to you, victorious ones. With transcendent offerings, fearless and vast, with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with strength of conviction in the Bodhisattva way, I offer and bow down to all victorious ones. Every harmful action I've done with my body, speech, and mind, overwhelmed by attachment, anger, and confusion, all these I openly lay bare before you. I lift up my heart and rejoice in all positive potential of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, of solitary realizers here still training and those beyond, and of all ordinary beings, you who are the bright lights of the worlds in 10 directions, who attain a Buddha's omniscience through the stages of awakening, all you who are my guides, please turn the supreme wheel of Dharma. With palms together, I earnestly request you who may actualize parinirvana, please stay with us for eons, numberless as atoms of the world, for the happiness and well-being of all wanderers in samsara. Whatever slight positive potential I may have created, by paying homage, offering, acknowledging my faults, rejoicing and requesting that the Buddhas stay and teach, I now dedicate all this for full awakening. May you Buddhas now living in worlds of 10 directions, and all you gone to freedom in the past accept my offerings. May those not yet arisen quickly perfect their minds, awaken as fully enlightened one. May all worlds in 10 directions be entirely pure and vast. May they be filled Bodhisattvas surrounding Buddhas gathered beneath the Bodhi tree. May as many beings as exist in 10 directions be always well and happy. May all samsaric beings live in accord with the Dharma, and may the every Dharma wish be fulfilled. Remembering my past lives and all varieties of existence, my practice Bodhisattva way, and thus in each cycle of death, migration, and birth, may I always abandon the householder's life, then following in the footsteps of all the Buddhas, and perfecting the practice of a Bodhisattva, may I always act without error or compromise, with ethical discipline, faultless and pure. May I teach the Dharma in the language of the gods, in every language of spirits and nagas, of humans and of demons, and in the voice of every form of being. May I be gentle-minded, cultivating the 6 paramitas, and never forget bodhicitta. May I completely cleanse without omission, and every negativity, and all that obscures his awakening mind. May I traverse all my lives in the world, free of karma, afflictions, and interfering forces, just as the lotus blossom is undisturbed by the water's wave, just as the sun and moon move unhindered through the sky, May I ease the suffering in lower realms and in the many directions and dimensions of the universe. May I guide all wanderers in samsara to the pure bliss of awakening and be of worldly benefit to them as well. May I practice constantly for eons to come, perfecting the activities of awakening, acting in harmony with the varied dispositions of beings, showing the ways of Bodhisattva. May I always have the friendship of those whose path is like mine, and with body, words, and also mind, may we practice together the same aspirations and activities. 1 second. May I always meet a spiritual mentor and never displease the excellent friend who deeply wishes to help me and expertly teaches the Bodhisattva way. May I always directly see the Buddhas, mastered and circled by Bodhisattvas, and without pause or discouragement for eons to come. May I make extensive offerings to them. May I hold within me the Buddha's genuine Dharma, illuminate everywhere the teachings that awaken, embody the realizations of Bodhisattva, and practice ardently in all future eons. While circling through all states of existence, may I become an endless treasure of good qualities, skillful means, wisdom, samadhi, and liberating stabilizations, gathering limitless, pristine wisdom and positive potential. On one atom I shall see Buddha fields numberless as atoms, inconceivable Buddhas among Bodhisattvas in every field, practicing the activities of awakening. Perceiving this in all directions, I dive into an ocean of Buddha fields. Each an ocean of the 3 times Buddhas in the space of a whisper of a hair, so I too will practice for an ocean of eons. Thus I am continually immersed in the speech of the Buddhas, expression that reveals an ocean of qualities in one word, the completely pure eloquence of all the Buddhas, communication suited to the very tendencies of beings. With strength of understanding I plunge into the infinite enlightened speech of the Dharma, of all Buddhas and 3 times gone to freedom, will continually turn the wheel of Dharma methods. I shall experience in one moment such vast activity of all future eons, and I'll enter into all eons of 3 times about a fraction of a second. In one instant I shall see all those awakened beings, past, present, and future lying among humans, and with the power of illusion like stabilization, I will constantly engage in their inconceivable activity. I shall manifest upon one single atom the ray of pure lands, present, past, and future. Likewise, I shall enter the ray of pure Buddha fields in every direction without exception. I shall enter the very presence of all my guides, those lights of the world who are yet to appear, those sequentially turning the wheels of complete awakening, those who revere Nirvana, final perfect peace. May I achieve the power of swift magical emanation, the power to lead to the great vehicle through every approach, the power of always beneficial activity, the power of love pervading all realms, the power of all surpassing positive potential, the power of supreme knowledge unobstructed by discrimination, and through the powers of wisdom, skillful means, and samadhi, may I achieve the perfect power of awakening, purifying the power of all contaminated actions, crushing the power of the disturbing emotions at the root, diffusing the power of interfering forces. I shall perfect the power of the Bodhisattva practice. May I purify an ocean of worlds, may I free an ocean of beings, may I clearly see an ocean of Dharma, may I realize an ocean of pristine wisdom, may I purify an ocean of activities, may I fulfill an ocean of aspirations, may I make offerings to an ocean of Buddhas, may I practice without discouragement for an ocean of eons. To awaken fully through this Bodhisattva way, I shall fulfill without exception all the diverse aspiration of the awakening practice of all Buddhas gone to freedom in 3 times everywhere, in order to practice exactly as the wise one called Samantabhadra, all embracing good, the elder brother of the sons and daughters of the Buddhas. I completely dedicate all this goodness. Likewise, may I dedicate just as skillful Samantabhadra with pure body, speech, and mind, pure actions of pure Buddha fields. May I give rise to this aspiration of Manjushri for this Bodhisattva practice of all embracing good, to perfect these practices without discouragement or pause in all future eons. May my pure activities be endless, my good qualities boundless, and through embodying an immeasurable activity, may I actualize infinite emanations. Limitless is the endless spaceless. Likewise, limitless are living beings, thus limitless are karma and afflictions. May my aspirations reach be limitless as well. One may offer to the Buddhas all wealth and adornments of the infinite worlds in 10 directions, and one may offer during eons endless as atoms of the world, even the greatest happiness of gods and humans. But whoever hears the extraordinary aspiration and longing for highest awakening, gives rise to faith just once, creates far more precious positive potential. Those who make this heartfelt aspiration for the Bodhisattva way will be free of all lower rebirths, free of harmful companions, and will quickly see Amitabha infinite light. And even in this very human life, they'll be nourished by happiness and have all conducive circumstances. Without waiting long, they'll become just like Samadhi himself. Those who give voice to this extraordinary aspiration will completely and quickly purify the 5 balanced harmful actions created in the power of ignorance. Blessed with supreme knowledge, excellent body, family, attributes, and appearance, they'll be invincible to vast interfering forces and misleading teachers, and all 3 worlds will make offerings. Going quickly to the noble Bodhi tree and sitting there to benefit sentient beings, subduing all interfering forces, they will fully awaken and turn the great wheel of Dharma. Have no doubt that complete awakening is a fully ripened result comprehended only by a Buddha, of holding in mind by teaching, reading, or reciting this aspiration of the Bodhisattva practice. And what's strange is like the hero Manjushri who knows reality as it is, and just like Samadhi as well, and completely dedicate all this goodness just as they did. With that dedication, which praise is the greatest power. Buddha has gone to freedom 3 times. I too dedicate all my roots of goodness for the attainments of the Bodhisattva practice. When the moment of my death arrives, by eliminating all obscurations and directly perceiving Amitabha, may I go immediately to Sukhavati, pure land of great joy. Having gone to Sukhavati, may I actualize the meaning of these aspirations, fulfilling them all without exception, for the benefit of beings for as long as this world endures. Born from an extremely beautiful superlative lotus in this joyful land, the Buddha's magnificent mandala, may I receive the prediction of my awakening directly from Buddha Amitabha. Having received a prediction there, may I create vast benefit for beings throughout the 10 directions with 1 billion emanations by the power of wisdom. To even the small virtue I have accumulated by offering this prayer of the Bodhisattva practice. May all the positive aspirations of beings be fulfilled in an instant. Through creating limitless positive potential by dedicating this prayer of Samadhi deeds, may all beings drown in the torrent of suffering into the presence of Amitabha. To this king of aspirations, who is the greatest of the sublime, helping infinite wanderers in samsara, through the accomplishment of the scripture dazzling with Samadhi practice, may suffering realms be utterly emptied of all beings. Okay. And then we have the specific dedications. One second as I open it up. So we also dedicate all 3-time merit to killing by ourselves, as well as the numberless sentient beings and numberless Buddhas, for the long and healthy lives of the holy gurus, particularly as long as the Lama, Lamas of Rinpoche, Ganatri Rinpoche, Sakura Sencho Rinpoche, Kena Rinpoche, Geshe Chune, and Constant Rinpoche, as well as the quick fulfillment of all the holy wishes. And then we also dedicate for the long and healthy lives of all the Dharma teachers, in particular for Geshe Sherab, Geshe Tenzin Dorje, Geshe Dorje Damru, Geshe Tenzin Zopa, Geshe Tenle. So I think some of you might have heard, but Geshe Tenle has been in a car accident in the US, and he is undergoing surgery soon. And so actually there was a group Tara practice for him yesterday. So yeah, for him, Venerable Sankakanda, Venerable Olivia Rossi, Venerable Tenzin Namdrong, Venerable Bila Curtin, Venerable Tenzin Gache, Venerable Tupin Kanjo, and Venerable Tenzin Lexo. Yeah, for all of their long and healthy lives, and also for the quick enlightenment of all of the kind benefactors of Root Institute. So then all those beings who have sickness or other kinds of health issues, then in particular, Saroj Gujaral, Tulasi Ram's wife, and all those with health issues. So as Shantideva said, may all those who are afflicted with illness, may all who are sick and ill quickly be freed from all their ailments, and whatever diseases there are in the world, may they never occur again. So I also dedicate for all those who have recently passed away, in particular Linda Kawer, Samuel Olson, and Tulasi Ram's son. So for those and all the other beings who are in the bardo, may they quickly be born in a pure land that they can achieve enlightenment, or at the very least, attain another perfect human rebirth, and meet with Mahayana Dharma and Mahayana gurus, and attain enlightenment in their very next lifetime. Then for all the Dharma projects, particularly all the Dharma projects in India of the FPMT, Root Institute, Tushita Meditation Center, Tushita Mahayana Meditation Center, Sarah My House, Shakyamuni Buddha Clinic and Bodh Gaya Maitri Project, Maitreya School and Bodh Gaya and Chokosomling Center. May they have all the success in their activities to benefit sentient beings and the Dharma. Okay, so thank you very much. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Okay? Okay, bye. Take care.